Okay, I gotta say I have no idea how this works anymore. They've changed coring too often. You have to core all of the provinces in the state owned by you. Really? I know that's true for, like, stating stuff, but coring it? You still need to designate it as a state. I thought that was just to reduce the autonomy to 0. I'm trying to find out how to get it to the 75 level. Corruption. Corruption is one of the most common and frequent factors of political and economic life. Several scandals over the past year have brought the issue to the fore, so much so that many of our subjects are calling for us to take action against this growing problem. Failing to do so would have dire consequences for our ability to govern the realm. Lose stability or lose corruption. I'll take the corruption, thanks. You lot are actually growing in strength, which I'm not particularly appreciating. Yeah, you are. Alright, let's go and lift this siege now. And then we're going to get rid of the Marines, because they are just costing us sailors. And we can't afford that. Oof, look at those numbers. We're killing 1,000 a tick. It's because of our massed cavalry hordes. We've got 8,000 cavalry here. Like I said, cavalry strong. Also, we went full offense. That is another factor. And there we go. Massive amount of war score. We killed a huge number of their troops. England has embraced the Renaissance. Okay. And we are going to get rid of you. Now, do we want to try and siege down Naples? Sure. Alright, that other one has finished. Your autonomy is still 90. Alright. Well, we're going to do the next state, which is turning it from a territory into a full chord state, which will cost another bunch of admin, though it's not telling me how much. And it increases our governing capacity by 18. Okay, it doesn't use ad... Oh, yes it does. So stating it. Now it's a state. What does that mean? Still 90. We actually need to core the state. So it's gone from non-core to territory to state, and now it's going to be a cored state. This is the 4th step. And that's going to cost us 131 admin, which we can afford. It is now a chord state, and the autonomy goes from 90, still 90. I'm guessing that's an end of month tick needed. There we go, now it's 0. Really? It just goes from 90 to 0? Alright. Oh, the 75 is completely gone. It's just 90 to 0. Okay. So territories are basically garbage. There's no point to them. Aragon's claimed our throne again. I mean, fair enough. Oh, Nibor stayed here again. Damn it. Let's just grab 1 unit of infantry and move him over there so that he can take command of this siege. You may as well blockade them. Ah, and now we also need to do some conversions. So we have our 1 missionary. We're going to do the cheap one first, so let's go ahead and convert Gibraltar to the Catholic faith. Clergy power political struggle. The time has come for the clergy to appoint a new leader to assist our king in the capital. The likely candidate is an old cleric with a solid history as a prominent member of the clergy behind him. He has, however, also acquired many enemies during his life, who now hope to see the somewhat younger candidate with a less ugly past be appointed. As king, it should not be hard to influence this election to the younger candidate, who would likely be more loyal. To be seen to meddle in the affairs of the clergy, however, would very likely weaken the faction in the long run. So they can gain influence. Or we can lose a bunch of money, all of the money, and they gain loyalty and lose influence. Influence is fine. So we're now at 50% influence. Does that increase the strength of your ability? It does. So at 50% influence, it goes from 10% to 15%. Meanwhile, the remnants of Naples' army is on the move. And Naples is ready to give up. The Pope's not building an army at all. Oh, yes they are. They're trying to regain Avignon. Oh yeah, and I'm making money because of the blockades. Ha! Excellent. Nothing personal, Naples. It's just good business. I see a mystery. We're taking attrition. Are we really? Yes, we are. Okay, we're not going to blockade. At least not with the heavies. We can do that with the cogs. We just need to move them back every now and then. We are 1 point out of range. Supply ships reach 151 out of 150. Oh, you're having a laugh. Also, if I went to the Pope, I could get docking rights from them, I'm pretty sure. But I don't really want to pay the extra, so pass. And I just sent him home because every month that ships stay out of supply, their attrition levels double. And I don't really want to take the extra damage. So as long as he's back out here by the end of the month, then we still get the blockade tick. We have a high chance of rebels appearing in the south. Okay. Religious resistance is proving much harder than anticipated to convert the citizens of Gibraltar. Although a few of them showed clear interest in the beginning, the majority don't seem that willing to embrace the new religion. So we lose missionary strength in Gibraltar, or we get this heretic uprising. Malaga is actually a fort, so these guys rising up there doesn't matter. In fact, you can go and fight them. Oh no, Sergei died. And there we go, we have taken Naples. Oh no, we haven't. We're fighting their fleet in Naples. And there's the Granada Uprising. More and more of them. Oh dear, and their main fleet has appeared too. That's my transport fleet! Send in the heavies! Hopefully we capture a couple of their transports to make up for losses. Alas, no, but they've retreated to Naples and they're about to be sent back out into Naples. I don't want to lose that guy, so we're going to send you back to port. Oh, and I have no admiral here. Hold your horses. Quickly, hire another. Sergei did not last very long, did he? Grim. Good fire, and ships do have cannon even in this era. And we also got a tick of repair, which is quite nice. We have won the siege of Napoli just in time for the navy to get back. Sank 3 transports, sank 3 convoys, sank 3 galleys. That's probably about all I really wanted to do here. Although taking out the rest of Naples really wouldn't be that difficult. Because no other forts. So let's go ahead and siege all of this. I'm just using hotkeys to split people up more quickly. It's V. Deselect one unit is just pressing V. So I split up the army into stacks of 2 or 3. And then just sent them to individual provinces. And every time I clicked on a province, I pressed V to deselect one guy. And they do actually have an army here, which could cause me some problems. Because these are all cavalry and they're expensive. And there we go. Peace has been declared. The Pope didn't take anything? Naples will be forced to give 10% of their income as war reparations, which will last for 10 years. Naples will annul all treaties of Savoy. Naples will pay 265 ducats, of which Castile gets 192. Cha-ching. A total of 3 prestige will be divided between the Papal States and its allies, Castile getting 2.1. The Pope owes me 19 favours. Yeah, you do. Alright, I send you lot home. And you can walk. So those units right now are what's called exiled, which means they can walk through territories even if you don't have military access. And because they're in such small units, I'm going to take the risk. Oh, you don't actually explore as you're going. Oh, exiled units won't fight rebels anyway. I was worried that those small units would fight rebels on the way, but they wouldn't. They'll just walk past them. Saves me spending time loading them onto a ship and then sailing them over manually. I mean, they don't have that far to go. Quick question. What version of Hearts of Iron was I playing at the end of New Beginning? Can't get the mod to work. Latest. Didn't transfer occupations. The Pope couldn't take anything. Oh, yeah. Might have done that on purpose. I didn't actually want him to expand. Italy being broken up is good for me. Because it's one less naval power I need to contend with. Malaga's had a breach, but they still are on -28. So these guys should arrive in time to lift the siege of Malaga. Another gold rush? Are you kidding me? These are rare. I just got like 2 in a row, basically. Cool. Alright, how old is Juan now? 55. I've had this guy for so long. How much inflation am I sitting on? 2.8. I haven't taken any loans out. Haven't needed to. What does my hatchery in Italy look after the hotfix? Good question. That's a political map mode. They are still in, but Shadow Kingdom hasn't finished yet. They're still in the Emperor trying to keep them on side. PU with Aragon, here we go. Yeah, unfortunately this is not the good one, the bad one. Junior partner. Alright, 30,000 men attacking the rebels of Malaga. Have it. In fact, no, don't do that. You just go and sit in Toledo. You go and sit in Sevilla. That'll do. My lord, one of your advisors suggested selling off noble titles to anyone who can afford to pay. It could bring in lots of money and open a way for social advancement to the rich if we do. But it would devalue the idea of the nobility and perhaps upset the existing aristocratic families. Should we do this? So the Burkers gain 5% land. We gain a bunch of money. Nobility loses loyalty. Burkers gain loyalty. Or we say no, and we gain stability, which would actually knock us up to stability 3. Burkers would be pissed off, but only for a short time. And the nobility become incredibly loyal. And this is a really strong nobility estate. Ah! And at 60% nobility, we did indeed unlock the next thing, which is actually land maintenance. Interesting. So our armies are currently 7.5% cheaper if we maintain this loyalty. So I wonder if we want to get a privilege. Oh, we could summon the Diet as well. In fact, the Diet would do it. That's all we'd need to do. At some point, I'd like to get the nobility in the officer corps. But we don't have the army tradition to do that, so we can't afford it just yet. And we do need to do an agenda. I do kind of wish that there was a pop-up saying an agenda is available. Because this is something I keep on forgetting to do, and I'm sure it's been there a while. So yeah, let's do it. So we have the proposal of the clergy, which is to build up Burgos to at least a 5 base tax. Burgos being... It's a big province, there it is. It's a 3, so that would only be a 2 upgrade. It's definitely doable. We need to have at least 50% manpower. That seems unlikely because I keep using manpower. Or Sevilla must have a marketplace. So if we complete this, then the clergy gain 10 loyalty and we gain prestige, which right now would be useful. But if we complete this one, we gain a base production in Sevilla for free. And production here is 63 points. And we have easily enough money to build the marketplace. Oh, and we can actually build marketplaces. Yeah, we're absolutely doing the Berkha one. Plus, this also gives the Berkhas loyalty, which would be a good thing. So we're going to do the Berkha. We're going to build a marketplace here in Sevilla because we want to do that anyway. So, in fact, here we go. Let's talk about buildings. So if we go to the production interface, scroll down to buildings, and we can see exactly what we can build. Now that we are Diplo 4, we can build marketplaces. Marketplaces increase the provincial trade power developed in a certain province. And as you can see here, Sevilla adds 11.6 trade power. That's basically an additional 25% trade power in Sevilla. It's a huge amount. And that's because marketplaces increase by percentage. It's a plus 50%, in fact, not 25. So Sevilla must have been a 22. Really? No, it's a 33. So it is a 25% bonus. 10 of that isn't modified because it's already modified. Okay, I get you. So it's a 50% bonus on the base. And the base is so high because it's a level 2 center of trade. And in fact, we could also upgrade some more of the centers of trade, which is another thing we should do. So we're going to build a marketplace in Sevilla. Partially because it's just a good idea, because it massively boosts the provincial trade power, which is going to increase our own share of the node here in Sevilla. And we should probably also upgrade whatever centers of trade we can to level 2. So Toledo, we're going to upgrade to level 2. It'll make development cheaper, it'll also give us that trade power. And I'm going to do one more. Let's do Burgos, it's got a fort. So we'll upgrade you to a level 2. And that should quite dramatically increase the amount of trade power we have here. So we're currently at 44%. We'll wait until the end of the month, it'll recalculate. And now we're at 46. And we can mothball you lot. So let's send you over to Seville. We'll mothball these ships because we're currently using a lot of sailors. And there we go. That should allow us to regain some. Prestige is still negative. Another 6 months and it should be positive. Hold on, Juan. Hold on. Although I think you actually need to have like 50 prestige to actually press this button. I don't know what the button does. I haven't seen it before. I just know that it gives you another heir. Ah, here we go. The Shadow Kingdom. So this is what you were asking about before. And they have said, summon the Diet, which means that all of the Empire gets a vote. So if you're in the Empire, you would have a little checkbox down here in the bottom right, and then you can basically choose which of these outcomes you want for the Shadow Kingdom. So currently the choices are abandon Italy. Austria would lose 10 prestige. They would lose 20 imperial authority. Then Italian nations within the HRE that have been reigned in will remain in the Empire. However, those that have not been reigned in would be lost. So Brescia and Bergamo would be lost from the Empire. And this is what the majority of the HRE is going for. Or they can vote for rein them in, and the Emperor will then have until 1490 to rein in as many Italian nations into the Empire as they can. And they'll lose 10 imperial authority if they do that. Ah, right, yeah, the Emperor does decide which one to do. Princes can vote. The Emperor can go against the vote, but it will cost him more imperial authority to do. That's how that works. So if he goes with the majority, then he'll either not pay any or maybe even gain some. And we are, again, making positive money because of the mothballed heavies. They are incredibly expensive. And I think that we can probably fairly safely go back to drilling our armies now. So let's put Juan back in the firing line. I mean in the army. And get him working. Get rid of the Marines, already done. I guess upgrading trade centers is yet another DLC. That one is Dharma. And Dharma's worth getting for that. So Cradle of Civilization for professionalism and drilling, and Dharma for trade centers. I'm actually going to make a note of that, because I do get asked what DLCs are worth getting, and that's a reason to get those. And I think government reforms are also Dharma. I don't know if that's been made free. Might have been. Oops, we have independence for a lot of things. Oh, have I just been PU'd? I've probably just been PU'd. Then the other one was Cradle of Civ, which was professionalism and drilling. Okay, so England declared war upon Aragon for a succession. So this is kind of a question. Who do I want to be PU'd under? Aragon or England? Oh, we're at war with Portugal as well. Portugal have honoured their military alliance with them. No longer considered a great power. Aragon is a great power, and we immediately lost our transport, or our trade ships to the Portuguese. Well, my ships are staying here in port, and Aragon, Brittany, Castile, Florence, and Navarra versus England and Portugal. Which broke my alliance with Portugal. Hopefully it doesn't lose them as a historical friend. That would really suck. I'm going to pull my armies back behind my forts. I don't intend to fight this. There's no reason for me to fight this. I gain nothing. Reforms are free, but Dharma adds a lot of nation-specific ones. Okay. That's how I thought it worked, but I wasn't 100% sure. Take Africa to control the strait. I can't. I'm in a personal union. Can't declare wars. I have a 97% independence liberty desire. Because we are 136% more powerful than Aragon. Yeah, this state of affairs ain't gonna last for very long. You lose historical friend if you inflict enough manpower losses. Gotcha. And I think that it would be much easier to break away from England than it would be from Aragon. Although Aragon is smaller. Britain's bigger, England's bigger. But then, like, the first war that England gets involved in against, like, France, and it's over. Game over, man. Game over. So Aragon's thrashing England's army. But Portugal jumps in. Aragon's got some more forces. Portugal's got some more forces. Navarra's coming in. The more damage we do to both sides, the more I benefit. So I have no intention of helping out. Burgundy tells us of the Peasant War. The peasantry has for some time demanded economic, religious and political amendments. Their dissatisfaction has grown to such an extent that violent revolts are becoming more common-day practice. Even though there is no central leadership, they lack proper armaments, and the peasants have still managed to pose a challenge to their authority. Several important buildings, both religious and other, have been burnt and plundered as a protest. Ooh, this has reset my rivalries. Oh no, I lost my alliance with the Pope. Damn it. But this means that I could actually become friendly with France. Because if I get into this personal union, France doesn't like either Aragon nor England, so is very likely to support my independence. And then if you get your independence supported, you get an automatic alliance with them.